A Confederate shell jacket. A portrait. A story. Nearly 8 months after the end of the Civil War, 22-year-old John House was on his way to attend a wedding. Formerly in the Knoxville Grays Regiment, John had spent time in a Union prison. That day he was bushwhacked, shot by a pro-Union vigilante. House died the next day. In East Tennessee, 4 years of civil war had created new grievances that outlasted the war itself. Even before the war, the men and women of East Tennessee recognized that their society and economy were different from the large plantations and slave labor system of Middle and West Tennessee. Across the South, Abraham Lincoln's election prompted calls to secede from the Union. A majority of East Tennesseans wanted to remain in the Union, but the loyalties of a sizable, equally impassioned minority lay with the Confederacy, setting the stage for a civilian uprising and partisan violence that would devastate the region. Here, women who could neither vote nor fight reflected on their experiences during the unfolding catastrophe. Eliza Fain, mother of 13, deeply religious, wife of a prosperous businessman, farmer, and a slaveholder, was strongly loyal to the South.
We, as a people of the South, have shown to the North the most unmistakable evidences of love and forbearance. What have we not done to conciliate? And now the blow has been struck, which forever seals our destiny in the election of a sectional president who takes into his hands the reins of our federal government.
Rhoda Williams and her husband John were also slaveholders, but they remained loyal to the Union. Rhoda Williams' thoughts are recorded in letters she sent to their son in boarding school in New Jersey.
My dearest Rufus, Amanda sent a great deal of love to you all. She is an affectionate woman, and I feel very sorry for her. God bless you, my dear son. Praise your devoted mother.
For Rhoda, as for East Tennesseans on both sides, slavery was a fact of life.
We are asked to submit to this rule without any definite arrangement for our rights as free-born citizens. I love my country. I love everything connected with her whole history. I cannot find it in my heart to say I submit. Treat us as brethren, or let us go.
With secession, East Tennessee's debate turned to action. Many East Tennesseans escaped to Kentucky to join Union forces. Others joined or were drafted into Confederate regiments. Still others became bushwhackers, sometimes partisan, sometimes preying on both sides. Neighbor was pitted against neighbor. Long-standing but peaceful disagreements could erupt into open conflict. Women, often alone, were especially vulnerable.
This morning finds heart, soul, and body in a state of great excitement from the rumor of burnt bridges and strong apprehensions of a rebellious movement on the part of the Union desperadoes of East Tennessee.
bridge burners' guerrilla action brought swift Confederate retribution. Jailings and executions outraged the pro-Union citizenry. More Confederate troops were sent in to prevent further uprisings and to tighten control of this unstable region. No one, man or woman, was truly safe, ever. Soldier, civilian, man, woman, or child, East Tennesseans lived under occupation throughout the war. First Confederate, then Union, and suffered under both.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Even the churches took sides. Ethie Eagleton's minister husband, after service as a Confederate chaplain, came home to threats from his own church congregation.
Mr. Eagleton received orders never to preach in this church again, but feeling it is his duty to preach still continues. I tremble for him.
He defied those orders. Members of his congregation beat him and drove him out of the state, leaving Ethie on her own, with neither a husband's protection nor his income, and with children to care for. Ethie faced a world of deserters, foraging armies, and robbers ranging the countryside. Ethie's diary records her fresh and bitter recollections of encounters with hated Union forces.
The Yanks, commanded by Captain Brown, getting down. They're coming in. My little hut is running over with them. Where is your husband? In the Confederacy? In the Army?
No, sir. He wrote me by a flag of truce that he was not in the Army.
You lied,
He lied,
damn
damn you. There's more Yanks. Got any bread? No, sir. Got any meat? No, sir. Any butter? There's no cow to make butter from. What the hell do you live on then?
Ethie might have asked the same question.
There is a great deal of distress and suffering throughout this country. Robbers and murderers are going in bands, and almost every week we hear of the murder of someone. Rufus, if they should wish to draft you, I wish you to let us know immediately, as we do not wish our sons to engage in any way in this unholy war.
Long after the killing on the battlefields had ended, East Tennessee's war within a war still seethed. One example, another story. 3 years after the end of the war, a former Confederate colonel confronted a former Union officer. The Union officer defended himself with a walking stick, but a pistol appeared, and the Confederate challenger was fatally shot. Was it an accident? Self-defense? Cold-blooded murder? Union sympathizers blamed the dead man. Confederate sympathizers blamed the Union-packed court for failing to convict the shooter. Violence like this only prolonged the war's bitter memories.